And I know you feel lonely time to time. I want you to really know and trust me, you're not the only one. There are millions of people around the world who feel what you feel. So, the first and the foremost thing I want you to really understand is you're not alone. Now, let's try to deal with this loneliness. Now, before we deal with the loneliness, I want you to become as relaxed as possible. Choose a comfortable position where you are undisturbed now for the next 20-30 minutes. Keep your eyes closed. Let the whole journey be inwards. And now just take a few moments of deep breaths. Allow yourself to breathe slowly and naturally. Do not stress. Doing nothing else in this moment right now besides concentrating on your breath. Breathe in and out, allowing each breath to calm and relax you. Just continue breathing as slowly as possible, and you will notice a strange sense of relaxation beginning as your breath slows down. It's telling the body and the mind something is changing. Now, all you need to do is to count from 10 to 1 with each breath on each number. I'm going to count with you. 10. Breathe in, out. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Tap, tap. Breathe in. Breathe out. 10. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Just keep counting in your mind the same way from 10 to 1. As you reach number 1, allow your muscles to become relaxed and loose. You're not holding any part of the body stiff unconsciously. And focus completely on the numbers as the numbers are running through your head right now. Becoming more and more relaxed with each number. You are now beginning to deeply relax, which is the prerequisite. What is needed to deal with loneliness is to relax. Just learn to relax. Now let's begin to look at loneliness and deal with it. Think for a moment how you are feeling right now. Just observe what sort of feeling do you have right now. Notice any feeling of loneliness that you may experience right now. What does the loneliness feel like? Observe for yourself. Don't try to analyze, don't try to judge, don't be hard on yourself. Just leave the miracle to unfold and pay attention to the sound of my voice. And you will see something amazing come out of this process if you just allow it and let it go. You might be having experience a heavy feeling in your stomach or a feeling of emptiness or aching in the chest. These are all indications of loneliness, and it could be any other way. Just notice the sensations that's arising When you have these thoughts of loneliness, observe where in your body do you actually feel this. And if you don't feel it in any part of the body, and if it's just in your mind and just in your head, just observe that too. What does loneliness feel like to you? You don't have to start to deal with loneliness right now. You don't have to do anything. Just look at it, experience it, notice what it is like. Now, loneliness is an unpleasant feeling. Yes, we all know that. But just stay with this feeling for a few more minutes. The very fighting with loneliness creates more loneliness. You can't fight with it. You don't need to deal with it right just yet. Just notice the feeling. And when you become aware of the feeling that you're experiencing, that is an indication that you have needs that are not being met right now. You're not living a life that you intended to. Your mind now is speaking to you through these feelings. Just pay attention to these feelings. It's telling you that something needs to be changed. You need to take charge and you got to bring about the change, whether it is the situation, relationship, your outlook, your body, your confidence, your action, anything at all. Just listen to it. You can use this feeling to explore what you truly need. And once you know what you truly need, that is clarity, and clarity is power. And then you are ready to make the changes to deal with loneliness so you feel content. Just pay attention to the feeling of loneliness now. What are you thinking about when you focus on the loneliness? What are you thinking about? Pay attention to those thoughts or the images. Perhaps you have images in your mind of ways that you imagine your life to be. You imagine your life to be different. Maybe you are thinking about being alone. Maybe you miss someone. Maybe your inability to express your true self. That's also one of the biggest causes of loneliness. What thoughts or images that you're going through in your mind as you're focusing on being lonely? Pay attention. Now, there are many solutions to deal with loneliness. Let's look at the crucial ones. The one is to increase the connections and the contact you have with others. Maybe you're being too judgmental. Maybe you hold a lot of resentment. You hold a lot of unconscious hatred to a lot of people. Maybe you find yourself superior. All this is delusional thinking. So, just observe that and focus on only increasing your connections and contact with the other people that you already know or the ones you are acquainted with. And the other way to deal with loneliness is to have a positive relationship with your own self. The conversations that you have with yourself. You have to learn to appreciate your own company by recognizing what is good in you. Maybe you're too focused on your lack and your weaknesses. You need to start focusing on your strengths, on the good in you. Now, both of the solutions are available to you, and the beauty is you can begin now. You don't have to wait for anything. And you can use both, increase your connections and contact with people, or develop a very positive self-image by being self-aware, by recognizing what is good in you. Now just take a moment and let's focus on connections with people. Maybe you are feeling lonely right now because you are all by yourself with no one else around you. Or you could be feeling lonely even with others around. You don't feel connected. You don't feel they understand you. You don't feel they accept you the way you are. Again, do not judge yourself. Just be with what is. And if you don't feel sufficiently connected to the person or the people around you, also you tend to feel a bit more lonely. Stop looking for perfection. Now just take a moment and reflect as you hear me. Think about how many times you connected with another person in the last 7 days. Whom did you connect with? How many times did you connect with? And how many people did you connect with? Just pay attention. Reflect upon it. And once you reflect on how many connections you had for the last 7 days, what is the number that you came up with? Just let it be. We all have different connections with different people at different time, and we share different quality of connections. Connections can be just from simple acquaintance. It could even be saying hello to a stranger or someone you just come across at the supermarket. You just make an eye contact and you have this sense of hello, and you got to realize everybody's looking for the same thing. And now as you think about the past week and remember the people you interacted with, reflect upon it. Now, did you have a talk with them? And how was your quality of conversation with them? Did you speak to them over the phone? Did you email them, or you read an email from them? Did you write any letters? Did you visit any more people, any more friends? Now, as you're thinking about the number of connections you had in the past 1 week, were there more connections than you expected it to be? Do you feel you had a lot of connections, or were there less? Did you have enough close connections? Or were they mostly with strangers or acquaintances? And the question you can ask yourself is, are you just feeling lonely today, or were you lonely for the whole week, for the last week too? Because loneliness is a global phenomenon. We all feel lonely from time to time. And the problem is, when you feel the loneliness for a longer period of time, you exaggerate that loneliness and you feel you've been lonely forever. Now, I really want you to recognize this, because loneliness is a normal, natural feeling that we all experience. Every one of us on this planet experiences it from time to time. It is essential indeed. This feeling will help you to push, to connect more with people, to interact more with people, to get more closer to people. And you'll also risk, in some sense, in order to have close relationships. No matter what hang-ups you have about relationships from your past, but this feeling will push you. Even though if you have to take the risk, just go ahead and take the risk, because the risk that you take in holding a relationship is far lesser risk than being lonely. In this way, loneliness can be a good thing. What is your feeling of loneliness pushing you to do right now? Think about it. What kind of thoughts are coming as you're listening to me? Because to really deal with loneliness, you need to observe what is the feeling which is pushing you to do. Do you really think about, or do you need to join a group, club, a social circle? I'm not talking about the digital social media, but I'm talking about real interactions. But yes, social media on the digital level is a good way to build your network, your acquaintances, and then don't just let it stop there, but bring it into reality, in real, in person. Or how about you need to make a phone call to a person you haven't spoken to for a long time? I'm sure there are a lot in your list. Just go through your phone book on your phone, and I'm sure there's a lot on the list. You might hesitate, you might think, oh, we've lost connections, but just no harm trying. Go ahead. Think about it, and just after this process is over, make the phone call, or whenever you think is an appropriate time within the next 24 hours. Now, to really deal with loneliness by increasing connections with people, you may need to seek out company and be more communicative. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to appear weak. You don't always have to show the strong side of you. And think about people you could call to talk to, or people you could go see face to face. I'm emphasizing this again because I really want you to do this. Now, if no one comes to your mind, which is very rare, but if no one comes to your mind, just consider places where you could just meet new people. Perhaps just going for a retreat, a meditation program, a yoga class, a seminar, a social club. No matter what it is, recognize what best suits you so you can go out and meet new people. And I'm sure, doesn't matter where you are, there are lots of support groups around, and they are a great way to meet and connect with others. So are clubs, and so are all the classes. Think of all the places where you could spend time with people. And relationships do not necessarily have to always be face to face to be satisfying. Like I said, it can begin on a digital platform, and then a face-to-face meeting, and then phone calls, and then texts, and then emails, and then travel together. So, find yourself some internet support groups that can be very, very effective for you. And you can access them right now from your home. You have a device. You have an access to the infinite database of people around the world. Just put yourself out there. Just think of one thing you're going to do right now, within the next 24 hours, to really confront this loneliness. Think about it. You've already planned it. I know you're thinking about that. This is going to help you feel more connected with people. So, what is your loneliness pushing you to do right now? So just choose one action you're going to take to deal with loneliness. And I know you've already planned as you've been listening to me. So you gotta stick to the plan. 24 hours, and you're gonna implement the plan. You're gonna execute that. And there's another effective way of dealing with loneliness, is to just sit with yourself in meditation, observe the contact that you have with yourself, the conversations that you have with yourself. How do you feel when you're alone? Just observe that fact. Do you find yourself to be a good company? I want you to really be honest with that. And if the answer is no, perhaps you need to dig deeper why you could be a good company, because everybody in this world can be the good company and also can be the bad company. If you're not feeling content with your own company right now, this may translate as, yes, there is a feeling of loneliness. So that loneliness is dictating how you're looking at yourself, but you're not looking at yourself in actual. Perhaps you're not able to see the beautiful side of yourself because the loneliness is blocking it. Just imagine now this feeling is shifting as you're listening to me. It's shifting, it's moving. And you're beginning to recognize the good in you. Imagine a feeling of peace, happiness, contentment. Imagine now this feeling as a very warm feeling, a warm sensation which is running through your body. It could be just like a warm liquid. It's pouring in from different parts and keeping your whole body warm as you're becoming more content, peaceful, and happiness within. The body is beginning to change, and the warmth is just an indicator that you are feeling more comfortable with yourself, and that is the beginning of getting rid of loneliness. And this warmth is spreading all across, everywhere in your body, from the top of the head to the bottom of the feet. Let this warmth and peace grow. Experience now a powerful feeling of happiness inside of you. Let the warmth grow, and it's growing and it's growing and it's getting deeper until the joy that is inside of you begins to radiate out into the world, and everyone feels the joy coming out of you, and that's when you are getting rid of loneliness. And when you are feeling the warmth, when you're feeling more content, happy and peaceful, there is no room for emptiness, because right now you are full. You are whole and full. Love yourself now. You deserve this. You deserve this peaceful, calm, and happy life. Right now, everything is as it should be. You are perfectly okay just as you are. You feel joyful, loved, surrounded by love. Don't analyze, don't judge. No matter what you think of yourself, just for this moment, even if you do not believe that you are perfectly okay, at least pretend to be, just for the moment. You are worth all the positive things in the world. And you have a lot of things inside of you to offer. You just haven't taken time to look into your own self. No one has taught you to do so. And now you're beginning to do that. Now, while all this is happening, when the happiness is radiating from you, like the sun shining down upon everyone, feel a sense of connection with the world around you. You are a part of this world, and everybody is a part of you. You are a part of the fabric of this very society. The society, the world is in you, and you are in this world. Expand yourself, fill yourself with confidence, contentment, and security. You are now happy and content without feeling lonely, because nothing is missing when you are by yourself. Stay with this feeling, and time to time remind yourself about this. And the great way of doing this is to follow this practice for the next 90 days. Every day, until your mind and body starts believing that yes, all this is true and everything that I was thinking about myself was false. There is so much to me, in me, around me. Now I give myself permission to access everything. Take a moment now to feel gratitude, to thank this moment, to thank yourself, to allow to this healing to happen, to this change to happen. And now, it's time to conclude this process, this meditation. May the feelings of contentment and peace stay with you as you reawaken your mind and body. You may now gradually return to full alertness. Stretch your muscles, yawn, smile, release and let go, and then wake up and shake up and move up. You are brand new right now. Until the next time, stay blessed, stay happy. Lots of love. This is Bodhie Vik.